Hi, my name is Chanel Smalls, and this is my presentation for my community in words and pictures. I am doing my presentation on my um, community neighborhood where I reside, which is called the Cedarbrook section, which is in the northwest part of Philadelphia. And here is a overall picture of um, what areas are close by or how and where Cedarbrook is located. A little bit about the history of Cedarbrook. Cedarbrook is located in northwest Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This is a section of Philadelphia which was named after a cemetery, the Ivy Hill Cemetery, which is located on Mount Airy Avenue, which is right here where you can see this section right here is a map of the Cedarbrook section, and it's also next to East Mount Airy. Some people would say that this is also East Mount Airy, but as I was doing my research and looking for maps and pictures, I found that, and it's been called when maybe on the media when they're describing this section that they consider it to be it's called Cedarbrook. So, and as I was surfing the net, I found out that this section, because of the zip code, is called Cedarbrook. But it is in the section of Mount Airy, another section of Philadelphia. The demographics of Cedarbrook, the population is estimated about 12,826 people who reside in Cedarbrook. It is predominantly African American, but here's a table to show you that there are other races that do reside in this area, but it's predominantly African American. According to a graph that I saw, unfortunately, I tried to connect it to my PowerPoint and was unsuccessful, but it shows that women outnumber the men that live in this neighborhood by 1%. And the average age of a person that lives in this area is 40. So a little bit about the quality of life in the neighborhood where I live. Cedarbrook is relatively a safe community, uh, a safe community to live in. This neighborhood received, according to, it's called the niche, something that I pulled up and where it grades all the different communities in Philadelphia, in Pennsylvania, and Philadelphia, and Cedarbrook came up and received a B because of crime and safety, according to niche, and that there is some crime, but it's relatively low. So Cedarbrook received a B minus. There are no high schools in my community, but there are two public elementary schools, which goes from grades pre-K to sixth grade. There's one public middle school from grade 6th to 8th grade, and there is a school for special education, children with special education needs, and that means they can be academically excelling, or they can be low in academics. So that is the middle school that is in this area. Also, there's a Catholic school, which is it ranges from kindergarten to 8th grade. Also, 10% of the residents that live in this area live below poverty line. So, even though nobody should have to live below, have to live like that. Majority, 90% of everybody lives above it. So that's okay. Overview of important institutions in Cedar Brook. Cedar Brook has a sports league that does offer basketball, cheerleading, baseball, and football for the children to join. And as you can see, I show a picture right here of the youth football, and they're called the Ivy Hill Saints. It's just a picture. I guess I'm not sure if they won anything, but they would be considered the Ivy Hill Saints. Here, the mega church that I'm talking about in this community, there are various churches, and most of them are Baptist churches. There is still the Catholic Church as well. But this one particular mega church offers a lot of various extracurricular activities for the children in the neighborhood to participate, and they don't even have to be a member of the church. And they also offer cheerleading, basketball, football, dance. They even offer tutoring to the children that need it all the way up to 12th grade. So it's a lot of things that this mega church offers where children can go to participate. And, a lot of things for teens to do as well. And here is, this is a picture of the flyer of the annual Northwest Community Festival that is sponsored by this mega church, and is usually in July. And they have food, fun entertainment. They have a lot of people that come out and sing. Some famous people as well. There's games for everyone. And plenty of food, and it's about just fellowshipping with your community and being with, getting to know each other. So this church does that annually. It started off as a small church picnic, but then they expanded it to the whole community. And as far as community celebrations, this is a picture of what is called, there's a lot of different community celebrations that go on here in Cedar Brook, and it takes place on Wadsworth Avenue. And if I can go back to the map, I can show you that up around here where this is Missioner Avenue, up around there, this is where that community celebration takes place. And what they do is they block off the whole 1600, it's the 15 and 1600 block of Wadsworth Avenue, where mostly it's a few small businesses there. So they block that off, and we have what is called Wadsworth Day. And then also there's a time when also this church again sponsors when they ask the community to give back to the small business owners and patronize them. So it's a few community celebrations that do go on. There's also, and this picture is from Wadsworth Day, because it looks like, I guess they were doing face painting maybe, or coloring with the children. But they also have a day that's designated right before Christmas. I want to say is after Thanksgiving, where they do not so much a tree lighting, but when they turn the lights on Wadsworth Avenue, because it's a lot of I guess I want to say trees that they put lights on along along Wadsworth Avenue, and they light it and they ask the community to come back come together to support it. So that's basically, it's a small community. So my community assessment, according to the article Seeking a Good Community, there are several things that help to make a community a good place to live. They are safety, goods and services, relationships, and commonality of values and goals. Now, before reading this article, I would have considered my neighborhood a fairly decent environment to reside in. Now, after reading this article, I will say Cedar Brook is definitely a good community. My community has a low crime rate. Like I spoke before, there, have been incidents of thefts and some assaults. But overall, the community has still a low crime rate. I live where there's a small amount of poverty, but people still are able to maintain. The neighborhood is made up of working class people who are majority homeowners. They take care of their property. They look out for, they're pretty neighborly. The neighborhood itself is relatively clean and stays clean. The community comes together to rid of any nuisances that may cause a depreciation to the area. And it could be from a bar or, somebody moving in that may be, because there are some renters. It's majority homeowners, but there are some renters. And I'm not saying that all renters create havoc when they move into a neighborhood. Some homeowners do. But depending on who the person is, if they're bringing a lot of negativity to the neighborhood, then the neighbors do come together and hold meetings to try to rid of any negativity that may bring down the property value or bring, just cause the neighborhood to just go down at any point. So that's my presentation. I'm sorry for me delaying, and I hope you enjoy it. I hope it was enough for information for you to get just a little bit of what the Cedar Brook area of Philadelphia is like. Here are my references, and feel free to, look through them and see, if you want to know any more information. So feel free to go and, check them out. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy.